Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
You're listening to the Horse Talk Show, and we hope you had a very lovely, wonderful Christmas Day and Boxing Day. We did.
Boxing Day, the day after
Christmas. That's right. We have a great lineup for you. This is the best of 2024.
Woohoo.
This is the last show of the year.
And if you're listening on 97.3 The Sky, it's already past.
It's already January.
Welcome to the new year.
That's right. We've got the best of Dr. Adam Cayot and his little funny comment we're going to share with you as well. We have one segment with Charlotte Cannon because we feel like she was definitely in the top running for the best of 2024.
There you go.
For sure. And actually, I'm going to share in a minute one message through this whole thing. But Buck Brannaman, who doesn't love Buck Brannaman, right?
That's right.
Best of 2024. And Chris Cox.
Yes.
Yes, best of 2024.
Two of my favorite.
Oh, yeah. They're absolutely lovely. They're phenomenal people. And then the best of 24 tips of the week from all three of our superheroes in the second half of the show presented by Palm Chevrolet. So exciting lineup, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it should be a really, really good, fun show. And this is the bucket.
The bucket is up for grabs again.
The bucket is up for grabs. And there's a gift card from Seminole. There's a gift card from TT Distributors. There is $100 from Larson Hay. There's a brush with the Horse Talk Show on it, a dandy brush,
Piranha
all sorts of piranha goodies, all in this beautiful bucket. That's yours if you're listening and you comment during the show on your horse photo.
You have to have given us a Christmas photo of your horse.
You have to have done that.
And you have to be listening. So we already pulled the person that won from last week.
Yes.
And they weren't listening. So guess
if you're listening and you're the winner, just comment at the bottom of the show. We'll be announcing the winner during the show. All you have to do is comment that you know that you won, and then you won.
So who won?
We're waiting. There's some suspense. We've got some news and announcements. Happy New Year from Larson Hay. They are scheduled to be closed on New Year's Day and want you to know that because we do have a cold spell coming, and we know that you do want to get some hay and stock up on that. And New Year's Eve, they're there only from 7:30 till 2. So if you need hay, 7:30 to 2, New Year's Eve, closed New Year's Day. Yes.
Very good.
It's good to know, right?
I need to get hay.
Yes, then you know what you need to do.
Tomorrow I'm going to get hay.
There you go. Customer Appreciation Day is coming up for TT Distributors, January 18th from 8 to 1 p.m. at 7150 West Highway 40 in Ocala. What have they got, Pete?
Door prizes, 10% off store-wide, raffle.
Food vendors.
Products, reps on site.
Yep, so if you need to ask questions about products and TT Distributors, you will be able to get answers and be appreciated all in the same day. That's 8 to 1, January 18th. We'll be there. Get it on your calendar. Let's just talk a little bit briefly about equine safety during fireworks. Peterson Smith actually shared this on their Facebook. You can go there for a reference. It's actually a great reference page for some really good tips that they shared. Some of them were making sure all your fences, gates and stall doors are secure in case your horses are alarmed by fireworks.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure that's all secure. Tagging your horse the way you might during a hurricane is also very smart
In
because
case they jump out.
yes, jump out or through. Sometimes they run through fences. So if your horse is turned out or in a stall and might somehow get out, let's make sure there's some form of tagging, like in the mane, on a collar. If you have a breakaway halter, you could tag the halter. Any kind of way that you can mark your horse.
And I don't know for sure, but I think one of my horses hit a fence with her chest during fireworks, and she also had her fly mask on. So I thought of that as take your fly mask off for that night because they aren't going to see as well, and then those big flashes will happen.
Yes.
So that can cause it. And move your horses to a new paddock, like
away from neighbors. If you know you have neighbors that set off a lot of fireworks, just move them away. And then sedation is also an option for that evening. And if you need to consult with your veterinarian on that, that's good. But
and
a light sedation helps.
I also like to go to my neighbors and say, are you setting off fireworks?
Yeah.
If you do, can you please shoot them this way? And that way my horses will be on the other side of the farm.
That's smart.
If you can do that.
Yeah.
And then that way you're like, okay, and I only have one neighbor that does that. So now I just say,
go to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart move. So just some tips and ideas. Of course, there's lots of other ideas out there, but just being safe and sensible. And if you know that you have horses that get alarmed during fireworks, make sure somebody stays at home with the horses to keep an eye on things. And same, of course, obviously with dogs. You know, dogs can get real scared too. So just some good tips for you there. If you're traveling for the holidays, or if you're concerned about the fireworks, one of our sponsors in the second half of the show is the Equine Performance Innovative Center, and they are actually offering a safe, secure place for your horses to board for the fireworks. And sometimes these fireworks do go on every night for like more than a week.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening on the Sky on Saturday morning, you might still be concerned that fireworks are going off over the weekend.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
this is a great option that's available. Pat Myers Electric wants to tell you that the end of the year is the best time before the new year starts to check all your smoke detectors, check your batteries, make sure you have all those things in place so you go in for a safe 2025.
I'm going to do that tomorrow now that I've got that tip.
There you go. And don't you think that it's great to end the year with things sorted out, you know, rather than, you know, feeling like everything's kind of...
Well, it's always that battery. You only change it when it goes off. And then this way, that's a great tip to say, hey, let's change it the new year. And then I know next year, I know when I changed it.
Isaac, do you have those photos? Can we pop up our finalists for just to create a little bit more suspense, perhaps?
Who's going to get it?
The finalists. We've got a few finalists here. We're not going to say who the winner is yet. We're going to keep it out there. But we did have some top photographs that came in. And honestly, the hardest thing was choosing because these were all absolutely phenomenal, beautiful horses, and just really different, original, and fantastic. So thank you to all 94 who actually submitted photos. I
think I know 2 of those people that submitted those.
They were all wonderful. So Isaac, do we have enough time to air that cute little Larson Hay piece? We do. Here's a cute thing from the best of 2024. We have Lake here. Is that right?
Yep.
Is that your name, Lake?
Yep.
Okay. So, Lake, what do you think of Larson Hay?
Tractors, the big tractors are really good, and they make hay, and they have trailers, and pickups have trailers too, and horses are really cool, and police officers, and police officers, and police cars.
That's right. And did you like helping Margarito today?
Yep.
Did you? You were working hard. I saw you in there working hard.
Yep.
So we're doing best of 2024 and meeting the Larson Hay grandkids at the Customer Appreciation Day was absolutely...
I don't think you're brown nosing or anything.
Oh, no.
For Larson Hay.
Oh, no, it was fantastic. They were so cute. And all the things they said, you know, when you interview kids like just off the cuff with no pre-planning, that expression out of the mouth of babes, you know?
You can do a pre-planning?
We're getting there.
Oh,
yeah.
we gotta wrap
got to
it
go.
up.
We're coming right back with Dr. Adam Cayot. Stay with us. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline, and talent. LipChip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hoofling system, powered by LipChip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is LipChip.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the best of 2024, Horse Talk Show presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And coming up right now is Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith talking about what to do when your horse is expecting. Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and we are at the beautiful Florida Horse Park today, and we are going to talk about what you should expect when your horse is expecting.
Yeah, right. Fun times,
yeah,
right?
So how long a horse is pregnant for? It's quite a long time, isn't it?
330 days plus or minus 30 days. So
that's way too long.
That's a long time. So they can.
I was done at 9 months.
They can give birth at 300 days. That's not very common, and those typically tend to be a little bit premature, but some of them are fine. And I've had other horses that have taken a year plus. So. Just kind of depends, but that's what, the books will tell us 11 months, So that's how long they're pregnant for. Obviously when things start getting rolling, obviously you can have periodic checks throughout that pregnancy and check in the mare and make sure, everything seems fine. And obviously you're going to watch for discharge and that air, under the tail and discharge that's abnormal, and keep your eye out for that. Keep your eye out for developing an udder too early. Some mares will start developing an udder too early, and then they'll start leaking, and then the colostrum can go away. So you need to be aware of that. So be aware of that stuff. And then about a month before she's due to foal, we recommend vaccinating her. And that the reason behind that is that's to boost the antibodies that are in the colostrum, so that the foal gets those, and you're all set as far as that goes. And then you just sit and wait, and before it happens, when you're getting close, the mare's, vulva and tail head and all that stuff, you'll notice it's starting to elongate and relax, and obviously the mammary glands start developing, and then when she's getting really close, you'll get like a wax up, or it's like a honey. It kind of looks like a wax kind of thing on the teats that will develop, and then once that happens, birth is imminent. So nowadays we have cool little strips that are pretty good predictors.
I've used those. They're
pretty,
not bad.
They're pretty good predictors. So that gives you a good idea too, and then the good part about it is 90% of the time Mother Nature takes care of everything, and you don't have to worry about it too much. But
yes,
obviously,
I had that mare once that I stayed up with all night. I went up to the house in the morning to get a cup of tea, and by the time I had my tea and got the kids up and came back down, it was nursing. I was like, oh, my kind of foal.
So that's a good point. Once it starts rolling, it happens pretty quick. Generally when the mare starts giving birth, the initial stages can take a little while, 1 to 2 hours or something, or she's uncomfortable, she might be acting a little colicky and that sort of thing. But once that bag breaks and things get rolling, the foal should pretty much be out within 15-20 minutes at that point. Obviously, once that happens, if you're not getting tea and getting your kids ready, and you see things happening, you should have 2 feet coming, and then soon a nose, and then as it comes forward. And obviously, if you don't see those things, then it's time to call your veterinarian. Certainly a huge emergency is if you see what's coming out is red or purplish kind of
Which
red,
is called a red bag,
or
or
so
at
that's
least slang red bag.
That's right. Yeah. So that's when the placenta is actually detached from the uterus at that point. So at that point, it's a emergency, and you need to take action. You wait for your veterinarian to get there; it will be too late. So you need to break that open, because the foal at that point is not getting any oxygen through the blood supply. So that's imperative that you do that. But hopefully that doesn't happen. And then you just kind of, I'm one to just kind of let mom chill once the foal's there, and you can go in and you can, touch the foal as long as, mom's okay with it and all that stuff. And just kind of let things happen, and pretty soon, foal should be on its legs, wanting to eat something, and they'll be nosing around, front legs, back legs, here, there, everywhere, and but just give them some time. Obviously, if the foal hasn't nursed probably within an hour or two of standing, you probably need to check in with your veterinarian and see what they have to say about that. They should try to get some colostrum in them within the first 4 hours, and they're able to absorb the antibodies up to about 14 hours after birth. So it's pretty important that they get that colostrum pretty early. And if you need to, then just, if they're a dummy foal or whatever, they're not figuring it out, then we can tube them with that colostrum and help them out.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You bet.
Dr. Adam Cayot with Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And because we're doing a best of 2024, Dr. Cayot did a funny at the clinic. We have to share it. Here it is. So look, seriously, have you downloaded the app yet for Equus TV Network on your phone? It's free, Dr. Cayot.
I don't like watching myself. I don't watch myself.
You don't watch the show?
Nothing against you. Nothing against the horse. I just can't watch myself. But my clients do. They tell me.
They do?
All the time. Yeah. They tell me, hey, was that about so-and-so? like they'll tell me, and they'll be just like,
because you're very good about never saying who, but I had a client once who, so they're right. Was that about me? So anyway, and I said, but the thing about it is
I don't know what's airing, right? Because we tape all these shows and then we just you pick out whatever is going to be. So I have no idea, and the fact that I don't watch, I don't listen to the show. I don't have any idea what was on that day or whatever.
So you don't know who you were
I have no idea who I was talking about. So I'll just respond with maybe, probably. I don't know. So, yeah, it's crazy. So
now you just need to tell them to download the app, but they're already watching. So they're good.
They're watching
right?
or listening to the radio program. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and your mum watches, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, I know she does that all the time. Yeah.
Jane. Yeah.
Well, she sends messages into you, right? That's what she tells me.
She does. Yes, she does. We love hearing from her.
Yeah. No,
So one of these days you need to watch yourself.
Yeah, I guess I can. It's just I did watch a little clip the other day because somebody sent it to me on Facebook or something. Oh, I think it was one of our old interns, and she's in Texas, and I don't know how it came up. Maybe it came up on Facebook.
Oh no, it's worldwide. You're being watched worldwide. You didn't know that?
Wonderful.
Texas is nothing. I get messages from France and Germany and England.
I need to practice my French. No, but seriously, so that came up. Oh, look at the Dr. Cayot. Look at the great Dr. Cayot here. I'm like,
so you didn't know you were internationally renowned?
No, I didn't know that. I knew Equus was like, you could stream it on whatever services you told me, but no.
You're on Odyssey.com worldwide on Saturday morning too, not just on 97.3 The Sky.
I need to start charging you more to do this.
You're famous.
I'm famous, yeah.
You are, and you're on like 8 podcasts too. Did you know that?
Appearance fees.
And there are actually agricultural universities airing you in classrooms. So the teacher has time to grade.
You're putting pressure on me now. I was like, before this, I was just like, now I didn't know. People are getting, listen.
You're in big time, Dr. Cayot.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Hell of a deal.
Do a great job.
Yep.
That was definitely a best of 2024, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think he realized he's more of a star than he realized.
He really is. He's absolutely the face of the show. And people often say to me, oh, that's the Peterson and Smith show, right? It's the Dr. Adam Cayot show. So there was a best of 2024 for you. Can we have the finalists one more time, please, Isaac? Let's just pop them up one more time. These are our finalists. And look, I'm going to tell you, every single one of them was amazing. Every single one of them could have won, in my opinion, really easily. And those are our finalists, and they are beautiful and incredible, just like all the other 89 of them that were just gorgeous. So if you entered, believe me, you could
I might know
winning.
3 of the people. No, I know 2 of the people. I'm just.
Next up. The suspense, we'll have a drum roll later because there's some suspense now. You know who the contestants are for the final win.
Yeah, so
here.
if you know one of those people, and you need to call them and let them know that they need to be watching right now.
They do, and Charlotte Kennan's next, so stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires. I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric. Equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure that you can achieve your vision for a beautiful, safe, and functional horse facility. From new construction to rewiring and updating, the Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a small farm of our own, we truly understand the unique concerns of the horse owner. Don't take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And here's Charlotte Cannon. Dancin Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship on my right and Charlotte Cannon on my left. Louisa Barton here. Very, very excited to have you with us. We've been chatting about great things. And, you know, you brought something up right before the break about, I made me really think about my neck fusion. And, you know, I was hit by a fleeing suspect and 65 miles an hour and totaled my truck and broke my neck. And it was a rough time in my life. And thank God I'm fine and healthy and all is well. And, you know, I got back into riding, but when I got back into riding, I got back in very, very slowly and did very little and stayed at the walk. And, you know, kind of like the doctor said, take it easy. You can ride, but you can't fall off. Okay, no problem. So I had adopted a Bureau of Land Management Mustang on his third strike, because I do things like that, for $25, completely feral. And we've had an absolutely wonderful time, and he is coming along beautifully. He's still young, but he's a wonderful horse. So I think about people, you know, that have had fusions or had accidents, or, you know, and they have to think a little bit more about taking care of themselves, and having a relationship with the horse where the horse trusts you and you trust the horse is even more important. But if you have those kind of preconceived alarms that may be going off in you because of something that's happened to you, whether it's on a horse or in a car or a truck or whatever, you can really transmit that to the horse. So you were talking about...
Yes, because the horses are hardwired to mirror us. And when I got so hurt several years in a row, and I've also broken my back and have a fusion as well, when I came back with this fear, I was not used to that. But I teach so many people that a girl shows all her life and then she gets married and has a baby, and she comes back from having a baby and she's still got the same horse, but she's afraid. Or the person that takes horse time off to raise a family and have a career, and then she wants to come back to it later and she has all this fear. And I didn't understand that until that hit me. And when this physical therapist said, your physical body, everything is physical, mental, and emotional. And when your physical body is so out of balance from being in a survival mode, it's going to cause you to have these mental and emotional feelings. So she went back to helping me rebalance my body. And after 4 weeks, poof, I went home. I was like, I'm ready to go. This fear is gone. I went home, tacked up a horse, rode it.
And actually, I think we have some great video of that. We could definitely be rolling while you're talking. So yeah,
but it was so interesting. Oh, this is some of the stuff that I do at home with the horses. But Pete, Dancin Pete here, had just started his block system. And so he came and I went to a clinic of his, and I was so shocked because at the beginning of that clinic, the horses were super out of balance and the people were a little chaotic. And by the end of the day, they were walking the horses around, and those horses at the end of that day had achieved all this physical balance, standing square, and The people were peaceful, and I was amazed. And I took those things that he taught me and went home and was working on the couple of the horses that we had at home. This video here is my young horse that I got this year. And when I got him, he's a little over 18 hands, and he
big boy.
had been blown up, and he was afraid of everything. Like a tarp made him nuts. And I felt like he was at a clinic I was teaching. I travel and teach clinics and help people, and I felt like this horse needed a year of the things that I could do. So we're going and looking at these fear triggers, like novel things. And
yes.
I want him to use curiosity and dominance to build his confidence on how to get out of fear. So we really work on catch their ears, catch their focus. I have studied a lot about different chemicals, brain chemicals, that focus triggers oxytocin, which is super bonding. So if you can teach the horse how to focus on something, it helps bond them to that thing. Move forward triggers endorphins and relaxation. So we go through and we trigger, get some curiosity, focus, move toward. Dominance, touch it with your nose, triggers the oxytocin again. Touch it with your foot, triggers like this is touch it with the foot, triggers that endorphins again. And as the horse learns that we're going to do the same pattern with each scary thing, they learn to use that pattern.
How clever is
to solve fear puzzles.
Yeah.
So it gives them this oxytocin, which is going to give them some safety and trust and confidence in you. It gives them the endorphins, so relaxation, so they want to move.
The frog, I love the frog.
And as they get more confident, that triggers dopamine, which is a reward and motivation chemical. And the horses then learn how to do it themselves. So even when you're riding, you know that this is the pattern, but the horse can start to say, oh, there's a scary trash can, but if I focus on it, I'm going to get this chemical reward. If I move toward it, I get this other chemical reward if I touch it. So they start looking for everything scary in the environment because it holds greater value in a chemical
just
way.
Answered something for me. I've been wondering about my horse for the last couple of weeks. You know, he's fairly new at my house, and there are new things that he sees. And so this is really good. I'm going to try some of these things with him. Like the other day, the plants were covered with a big green cover because it was supposed to be really icy cold, and it wasn't. But he, came out of the stall and was like,
Yes.
So I've been taking him over and letting him introduce himself to things. But I love this dopamine.
Yes,
like
and
smelling it, touching it, feeling it,
what
playing
Charlotte did was watched what I taught. And then she's big on taking it to the next level. So she went in there and researched and came up with, and she took mine and created her own, which I think is amazing. Because that's what, as a teacher, that's what you want to do. You want to give your student something and then say, now go make it your own.
Yeah.
And then that's what Charlotte's done. And we actually rode together, and there was a lot of fun places. Because at first, when she was going there, I was like, okay, where are you going with this, Charlotte? So it's really cool to see her progress to this place.
Yeah. Well, and it's really so fun because, of course, I do a lot of clinics, so I get to work with people and horses. But I also get calls from people, like I was working with this little pony, Dorothy, in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Dorothy was a small pony, had a little 6-year-old rider. And Dorothy was brave. She went to the A-rated horse shows. She'd jump all the color. She was great in the traffic. She wasn't scared of the biggest horse. But if Dorothy locked eyes with the wrong person, she would spin and leave her little girl on the ground. And so they were like, we've got to fix Dorothy. So I had to come up with some idea of how can I help Dorothy solve these puzzles herself. And we came up with this I Spy. And the I Spy idea was fun for the kids. And we sent the horse, I spy a blue tarp. And I'd send Dorothy to it. And Dorothy ate that up. And it solved it right away. So
That's
it's really
amazing.
neat how we can use chemicals for rewards.
Charlotte, we could talk to you for 3 hours.
I told you.
We'll be back. We actually have the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week. Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
LipChip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The Equine Performance Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, brought to you by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And who do we have up on the best of 2024?
The one, the only, Chris Cox.
Here he is. Brought to you by the Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, the Horse Talk Show, and Larson Hay.
The basics aren't basic. The basics are the first few steps, but sometimes always need to get back and strengthen and refined.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, communication with a horse is when I'm working with a horse, there is a rope, a thread that goes to the next step. It's got to have a connection to the same idea for it to get to the next step. So it relates that same idea to connect to the next step to advance it. If you have this thread and it's weak, or you've jumped a few steps without the thread, you might go a few, but you will fall. You need to keep weaving that thread and connecting it with the previous idea. So some familiarity start kicking in there to that horse to where they follow that familiarity of this. Even though you're advancing, it's all familiar, and your just expectations are just growing about the familiarity of the step previously.
Wow. Yeah, that makes total
I can get a little
sense.
bit
All I know is these the last couple interviews, which we won't call interviews, it would be more, what did we call it?
A chat.
Chat with
nice
Chris
chat,
Cox.
yeah.
This is way
A
better.
chat with Chris Cox.
This
That's
is
it.
way better than being in the studio.
I know. It is. It's just nice.
This is real.
I know. It is. It is.
Well, I get excited, and it's fun to talk about trying to get better, you know, and seeing people's lives change and horses change, and yeah, I change with them, you know. So
we see some amazing things in a day-to-day with recent equine education memorandum of understanding we have with the school board now that we're actually taking horses to schools to visit kids. We have a wonderful group, a 501c3 we work with called Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, who read a book to the kids. It's a horse book, it's their book, and then the character in the book steps out of the horse trailer and the kids get to meet the horse.
that is so cool.
And one of their horses is actually the only living top 10 most heroic animal in the history of the world, Magic, who's also a Briar collectible horse, and she visits schools. She's also an official Ocala Police Department officer now as well. And so she goes to schools with the officers so that the kids learn officers are not a negative. You know, the police are a good thing. But we have seen things. We have seen children who never speak and ask questions.
Amazing.
We've seen a couple teachers even crying because these kids are talking for the first time or hardly ever talk at all and suddenly want to talk because they see a horse. And we're having amazing experiences with things like that. So I think that the horse has a very, very special spiritual tie in healing for humans, whether it, like you mentioned, veterans, disabled. You know, the great Cody's Wish story was amazing, his connection with Cody Dorman at the racetrack. All these wonderful things that we see that horses do, and I think if we can have a really, really good relationship with our horse and have that connection, that can be lifelong, and it can turn a horse that maybe wasn't going to necessarily be great at anything into a great horse just because it has that tie to a human, and because it's, you know, my Mustang was on his third strike, $25, nobody wanted him with his big Roman nose, but I fell in love, and you know, I have a connection with him now that's so strong right from the beginning.
Well, I tell you what you're doing with that program is amazing, and I commend you. We have a 501c as well, and help take children out of trouble situations and even just out of general homes and inner cities, and help change their lives through the horse. And people ask me, somebody will ask me, what's your goal in life? What's your purpose? My purpose is to help change the world through the horse. And that's what you're doing.
So when you get ready to retire eventually, you know, and you come back and live in Ocala, we'll be all set up ready with the vocational school, and we'll need you.
There you go. There you go. I've always been taught to never retire, so.
Well, then you wouldn't be, you see, because
when I retired,
to work.
you know why they build retirement homes for, nursing homes for quitters. I can't.
We're not doing that.
I never understand when people say they're going to retire. No. I'm like, aren't you bored?
No,
that's right. But it's a wonderful program. We're really excited about it. It's a recent in the past year, and we're really excited about what's happening, getting to see kids, you know, out of 400 kids, maybe 3 raise their hands have ever touched a horse before we come to the school,
amazing.
Which is sad.
And what a great way of promoting the equine, you know, going to the schools, and that's
we love
that's
it.
amazing.
We're really passionate about it.
Yeah.
We're creating a coloring book with equine industry jobs for elementary age, and a middle school pamphlet with lots of 101 information, you know, and references where they can find more. And so we're excited about that. So the passion for the horse and just getting a chance to see young people who aren't around horses be around them, it's a game changer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. An amazing connection for people and horses. It's nothing quite like it.
Good, that's awesome.
Any last things you'd like to tell our viewers? And kind of any,
you know what,
like Pete said, someone coming up trying to do what you've done so successfully.
I get asked this question quite a bit about how do I get started. And very few people think that they've got to have money. You don't have to have money. Find somebody you think's one of the best, show up at their door, don't leave. Go to the barn. Don't expect to get paid. Go to the barn, sweep the barn, clean the stalls. They'll eventually put you on a horse. Then you work your hard, they'll eventually teach you.
That's true.
If you have the drive. Unfortunately, if you don't have a work ethic, this is not for you.
That's true.
This is a work ethic. This is, if you expect to get paid by the hour, this is not for you.
I see a lot of horse people that haven't had that experience, and they don't understand it when they go to other places.
This is a lifestyle, right? Like animals are a lifestyle. There's no clock. You got to get up in the middle of the night sometimes and help a sick horse or help a calf be born or whatever. It's a lifestyle. And what happens is that, as I said, you work hard and you become one of the best and you learn from one of the best, money will come. You will be rewarded.
That's right.
And I don't have anything against going to college, but I see a lot of people going to college and getting in debt for 6 years or 5 years or 3 years, getting out and still don't know what they want to do. So it could be a college. And I interview a lot of people with 4 and 5 different degrees looking for a job, just cleaning stalls or working horses, just want to be around horses, because they realize the direction that we're going is not making them happy. Find something that makes you happy and work your butt off. Be the first one to the barn, be the first one there. Work ethic will impress anybody. I don't care how much ability you got. If you've got a work ethic and stability, which means that you are consistent, you show up and don't just show up for 2 weeks and leave and think you got it figured out. I don't take interns anymore. You know why? Because most of them are only with you a couple years and think they got it figured out and they leave. Just when they're starting to benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
You've taught them, so I don't. But if I help people for free if they show up and want to work their butts off, you know? And that's what I would say, yeah.
Yes.
I could have quit. I lived in a truck, so I could have quit, but I never quit. And the law of average, if you don't quit, you'll be successful.
That's right.
You know?
And when you're passionate about something, it's what you want to do.
Exactly.
And they always say, you don't work a day in your life if you love what you do. So.
Well, that's right.
A bad day with a horse is way better than a good day at the corporate America.
That's exactly right.
That's a true fact. Chris
exactly.
Cox, I want to thank you so much for taking the time after your clinic today to chat to us. It's really an honor and a pleasure. Lovely to see you again, and we're happy to have you back here in the horse capital, or close anyway. So.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. An honor to be on here.
We hope we'll see a lot more of you.
You bet. Thanks.
Louisa Barton and Dancin Pete Rodda here with Chris Cox for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the show, Palm Chevrolet, and to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay. Also, thank you to the supporting sponsors, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifence of Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equigreen, JNS Pressure Washing, Horse Vans, and Midnight Rose Equestrian. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed.
Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Steven at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Hey, you can't go wrong with Palm Chevrolet, Larson Hay, and Buck Brannaman. Louisa and Pete, here we go. Buck, brought to you by the Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, the Horse Talk Show, and Larson Hay.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. And we, Pete and I, have an absolutely fantastic opportunity to talk with one of the best horsemen in the world. And that would be Mr. Buck Brannaman.
Ooh.
Buck, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure.
It's really an honor for both of us,
Yes.
Seeing you in action here at the Florida Horse Park and having a chance to chat to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk to us to start with, and I know Pete has some questions as well. I know he's itching to ask you some questions, but talk to us a little bit about the importance of making a horse feel safe.
Well, it's everything to me. You know, I hear every day I hear the words of Ray Hunt where he would say, I'm just trying to see how much I can get a horse to do for me without being troubled. And, you know, it's number one, it's about keeping you safe. If your horse isn't real troubled, then you're probably going to be safe. But the other part is I was talking about it yesterday. I said if the horse is learning things in the right frame of mind, well, it'll carry over from one day to the next. And you won't feel like every day you're starting over, you know, like that movie 50 First Dates, you know, where you catch your horse and he looks at you and he's like, and who the hell are you? So if he learns things in a good frame of mind, it's going to carry over. But not only that, it travels. Meaning, just the opposite of what I hear from people all the time in these clinics. They'll say, Buck, you know, I'm so embarrassed. But I swear to you, he's really good at home. And I'm like, how do you want me to respond to that? I can't go live with you. So, and I tell them a lot of times, I say, well,
We probably all wish you could.
I say, well, I'm 2,000 miles from home and my horse is good. So what do you think that's going to be? I'll go home and get bucked off? No. If that horse really trusts you and trusts the support that you're trying to give him, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're at a horse show or at a branding or whatever it might be, all he needs is you. If in fact the way you're riding the horse puts him in a good frame of mind.
Right.
And I want my horses to associate safety and peace with me. But it doesn't mean I don't ask them to perform and be athletic and be handy. But it's how does he feel about it when he's doing all that, you know?
Really important, the relationship. And
it is to me.
Yes. And the foundation of the California vaqueros was very much handling livestock and horses. It was all about the trust and the relationship.
Yeah.
And a horse is so much more willing to do anything you ask, even new things,
Well,
when you have that.
You think about it. Some people that haven't been from the world I come from, they think that being a cowboy is a nasty name to call somebody. They think that it would infer that you're some sort of ignorant primitive that eats raw meat and drags women around by the hair.
That's so true.
The world that I come from, being a cowboy, is considered an art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something you'll spend your whole life at poverty level because you love what you do, the craft of being a cowboy. And for a lot of people that have never visited that part of the world, they have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
That's true. You're right.
So during your clinic, Buck, you do a lot of talking, which, I mean, I can sit here for hours listening to. What is it doing for the horse? Because I know there's a purpose to that story, watching all the horses around, what little I know compared to what you know. Why do you do so much talking and just sitting there?
Well, there are times when I really feel like the horses need a little time to absorb what's going on. So often it's a good time to maybe give people some information on things to where there's a bit of a lull, where they let that kind of penetrate, let it kind of soak with the horse, because sometimes they can be trying so hard that the horse never gets a break. So he can't really absorb what's taking place. And it's sort of like when you go to a library, you're probably not going to hear a bunch of rap music, which is an oxymoron because I don't consider that music, frankly. But
I'm with you.
But it's quiet there. It's an environment that you can think, study, and absorb. And that's what the situation, the learning situation, should be for the horse too. But for some people, I always tell people, I want the horse to look at me as the source of peace. For some people, you know, I talk about horses always looking for monsters, you know. Yeah, but more often than not, the monster's on his back. And I don't want him to see that in me.
Yes, sir.
That is, that's very accurate. That's good information. So tell us a little bit about, I know out there in the documentary and a book and it's out there that, you know, your childhood was difficult. And I know that a lot of people like a pass for a lot of behaviors and things and habits.
Right.
You really took what you grew up with and you didn't take the pass. You went after your passion. You made your livelihood your passion. And you are one of the most renowned horsemen in the world. Can you talk a little bit about how you took those challenges and how young folks now coming up in this world should grab a hold of life and do what they love and not allow childhood, past hardships?
You know, it's kind of one of those things that my story's not that unique. There are lots of people that have, in their family situation, have come from a really dark place. And that's kind of why I wrote the book. I wasn't trying to find closure with me. Hell, I was fine. But I wanted the book to sort of encourage people to understand, just because you have a dark beginning, well, it's not a foregone conclusion that that's how your whole life's going to be. That's up to you. And I have pondered it over the years, because I remember the day I was sitting on a haystack at my foster parents' ranch, and we were hand stacking hay, and it was 100 freaking degrees. And you're just dirty and sweaty, and the bales are crappy. None of them fit. They're all different sizes. And it's just, you know, kind of one of them days. But us foster kids, we worked our ass off for those guys. But they loved us in return. But I had a day that it dawned on me. I'm just sitting there waiting for the next load of hay to come. And I thought, you know, I could not take responsibility for my life. And I'm pretty sure from what I've already been through, people would feel sorry for me for the rest of my life and probably give me a free pass for maybe not being a very good guy, because they could say, well, it's somebody else's fault because of what he went through. And I don't know. I don't know why that came to me, but I just thought, or I could just not accept any of that and just try to be something good. And it's like that day, I don't know, maybe that's a God thing, that day it was like, you better make a decision, because right now's the time. And I never really looked back after that. It's just, and I learned after being around Ray and things, it made more sense to me. If probably one of the more meaningful things Ray Hunt ever told me. He said, I live in the moment.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the show, Palm Chevrolet, and to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay. Also, thank you to the supporting sponsors, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifence of Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equigreen, JNS Pressure Washing, Horse Vans, and Midnight Rose Equestrian. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
This show is brought to you in part by TT Distributors, also online at ttdistributors.com.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
Epic Equine Veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options. Become a better, brighter, and younger you.
The Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Can you believe it's the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for 2024? We've had a best of 2024 show. Thank you to Palm Chevrolet, our presenting sponsor on this second half, and Larson Hay, our TV sponsor. I'm Louisa, Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have got a drum roll, followed by our winner, if you're watching.
If
you're watching and you comment, right here. Here you
the
go.
Bucket.
Let's see the winning photo. We love this photo. This
so
is
nice.
Jean Lynn Abbott. Jean Lynn, if you are watching right now and you comment on the fact that you are our winner, then you are our winner. And if not, our runner-up will get it. So we are going to give you a couple of important tips, and then we're going to come back and see if you've commented. So here we go. What should we start with? The favorite tip of the year by Dancin Pete Rodda of Complementary Horsemanship.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. Sponsored by Wildlife Works. We appreciate you for this year of 2024. Tip of the week is always have a knife on you.
Yes.
And preferable, a knife you can open with one hand, because you might have to cut a rope, a halter, a cinch.
Some sort of emergency.
For an emergency.
Yep.
And I remember when I did this tip, you asked me when's the last time I did it, or it was Betsy actually. And I had forgotten that year I had a horse hook the halter on those little grabbies on the trailer while I was trailer loading, hooked its head on the noseband, luckily had enough sense to stop, and I took my knife and whoop, cut the halter off and got the horse free. So
it's a good tip. Best tip of the year. Jean Lynn Abbott, we're waiting for a comment. If you're watching, we're going to go to Dr. Rullan's right now. Here he is. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show with Dr. Alberto Rullan from the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and he has your equine rehab tip of the week.
The tip of the week is the following. More could be better. More could be better. For example, a horse that is rehabbing might have a swimming pool might have to go to the water treadmill, might need magna wave, might need laser therapy, plus shock wave, plus medications as well. So more could be better.
Dr. Alberto Rullan. More could be better, especially at Epic, where you can take your horses if there's fireworks for the next 7 days or so, right? And here's our very favourite Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch with a great tip for this week. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Hi there, it's Neil Hennessey, the Ocala Dog Ranch. Great time of the year except for the fireworks. Most animals don't like fireworks, and this is a high busy time for shelters and rescues because dogs get spooked because of the fireworks and they run away. So don't leave your dog outside unattended in the yard when there's fireworks about, and if you have to take them out on a leash. That way if you get surprised by fireworks, they don't bolt and run away, and then you have to start looking for them. Fireworks, great. The dogs don't think it's so great. Neil Hennessey.
All right, last call for Jean Lynn Abbott. You were our winner. If you comment on the show in the next 2.5 minutes, you're our winner. And if not, we're going to go to our runner-up. So,
which will become the winner.
Which will become the winner, that's right. Because what a great year it's been. And every single photograph we received was amazing. We're going to do a very quick few amazing things from this year, in my opinion. Pete, your 2 amazing things.
2 amazing things. We watched them. Interviewing Buck Brannaman and Chris Cox.
That's right. Here's my amazing
Over the top.
things. And listen, I'm going to tell you, I've had many amazing things. I actually got on D. Wayne Lucas's pony horse in a dress. That's a pretty,
I would not admit that one.
That's a pretty big one for me. What can I say? That was at the Oaks, the Kentucky Oaks, the day before the Derby. Jenna got her first Kentucky Derby in, and that was pretty special. So thank you, Jenna, for going with me. We just had a good time, and you were wonderful at helping me. So that was a great thing. We had a winner of Road to the Horse. That was right. Our friend.
Tick Maynard.
Tick Maynard, yes. The author, trainer, horseman, everything guy. He won Road to the Horse. We thought that was a big deal, right?
He even wrote a book in German.
I know. We went to England. Betsy's first trip to England. She got to be the tourist and see where I'm from, and I got to go back home. So all good stuff. And I met the owner of Walsh Hall, the house I grew up in that's over 500 years old, and he was such a lovely man, and he let me go in my house that I grew up in where I lived and kept my pony and the scary staircase that used to frighten me at night.
Wow.
Because I always thought the house was haunted. So I actually went to Walsh Hall. And that house was purchased from my parents by Jeff Lynne, the lead singer of ELO, and he sold it to the lead singer of UB40, who owned it before this gentleman. So I got to go to Walsh Hall, so pretty awesome. What can I say? There were some other things. Oh, yeah, of course. I got a new little rescue pup, Mr. Marbles, whose name was Marbles, but we wanted to give him some dignity, so we added a Mr. to him. And he's such a wonderful addition to the family, and so I think that was it for me. Of course, there were millions of other amazing things this year, but, you know, we'll go with those main ones. So now I'm having a look to see if Jean...
And while she's looking,
yes.
If you have a great 2024 for the Horse Talk Show, give us a...
Yeah, give us a shout. We would absolutely love to know what the greatest thing was that happened to you this year, or a list of great things. So I don't think that Jean has responded.
Going once, going twice.
Going 3 times. Okay, so our runner-up, Isaac, drum roll please. Our runner-up was Candy G. Woohoo! And Candy G did a great thing because our former mayor of Ocala, Kent Gwynn, and his wife Sandra really wanted and felt it appropriate to be in a carriage for the Ocala Christmas Parade this year. And Candy jumped in, and actually her trainer, David Saunders, is normally with her, but there was a hiccup in the transportation situation, so she actually did it on her own, and she did a great job, and these horses had a lot going on.
Candy making a comment?
Oh, Candy G, yes. Are you making a comment? I hope you are. If you are, we are good, because then we do have the official winner. We think this is very special. She got all ready for this Ocala Christmas Parade. These horses had never done that before. So congratulations to Candy G. I am letting Kylie know right now that Candy G was the winner. and we're going to look for her comments.
So Candy, please send out a comment.
Yes.
And
Oh,
say,
she
"I'm
did.
the winner."
I got a thumbs up from Isaac.
We have
Do
a
we
winner.
have a winner? We have a winner of the bucket of goodies. So Candy G, you won. The best part, of course, is the Horse Talk Show Dandy
No,
Brush.
it's Larson Hay $100 gift certificate.
$100 gift card from Larson Hay, $25 from Seminole Feed Stores, $25 to TT Distributors, plus all these Piranha goodies. There's an amazing Piranha mitt in here. There's some Legacy fly spray and all sorts of other amazing goodies that are in here. So sweat scrapers, mane brushes. You've got a little funnel here. So Candy G, here it is. I'll have to meet you and give you this wonderful gift. So congratulations. Thank you for your commitment to getting our former mayor to the parade, which was really fantastic. I know it was quite an undertaking. So thank every single person who sent a photograph in, because
And we should do this more often.
we should do this more often, because 94 plus submissions altogether, and every single one of them was a winner. In my opinion, it was the hardest choice. I'm
Maybe
glad
we should
had
do a
panel.
New Year's one to show us your best commitment for New Year's.
Yes, and listen, from
With your
all of us, we have to be coming very close to the end of this year of the show. We're going to hear a Winnie in a second, just like that.
And I was going to say, this is over 2 years I've been co-hosting.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're a great co-host.
That's another highlight.
I did tell you, that's a big highlight. Happy New Year from all of us at the Horse Talk Show to all of you. Stay safe. Think about those tips from Peterson Smith as far as those fireworks safety. And if you're listening on Saturday morning on the Sky, happy 2025, because we're there already. Whether you're in Ocala, the horse capital of the world, or not.
We'll see you next year.
Around till next year.